your soulmate, your sweetheart, your desired partner doesn't want to talk with you about the two of you, about your connection, about the relationship. Maybe it's about a breakup that you say, hey, I'd really like to talk about this now. You know, is there still a chance? Is there still a possibility? Or what was our relationship really? Or he keeps withdrawing all the time, not wanting to talk about you two, your situation, what happened or what could happen regarding his relationship. He just doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe he doesn't respond at all or says something else, and he goes out of his way to avoid the whole thing. And of course, that really makes you wonder, what is actually going on there? Why doesn't he want to talk about us, about our relationship, about our connection? Let's take a look at that now. Dear ones, as you know, we are working with a collective. The character cards are gender neutral. This represents a counterpart, whether male or female. And please adapt the character cards to fit you and your situation. And a collective reading cannot apply to everyone. I also took this question from the collective again, and thank you for that. And as you know, you are always very, very welcome to make suggestions or write in with ideas for a collective reading, and I'm always very happy to include them. A very warm hello, a heartfelt, loving hug to you, and a big thank you from the bottom of my heart for your presence. Your comments as well. Once again, thank you very much for that. Wonderfully beautiful. And I also think the way you interact with each other is absolutely great. Now let's take a look. What's going on? Why doesn't he want to talk about you, about your connection, your relationship? All right, let's see. And very importantly, I'm now sending you lots and lots of wonderful love, positive energy, and so many feelings of happiness. All right? So let's take a look at what's going on. I already think the bottom of the deck is really great because for the person close to your heart, what's occupying him is actually the relationship, this sense of belonging together. And here it's about the foundation for a shared future. He feels something, there's something there. But there's also chaos. Internally, it's absolute chaos, but here it has something to do with belonging. He feels something towards you regarding this connection, and he does sense that there's something here, but somehow something doesn't quite feel right to him. Something inside him, something is still resisting here, something is there. But the resistance is there because he senses that somehow there is a sense of belonging, right? A relationship is definitely a topic for him, yes. Now I'm really curious to see what else we can find out here, what I can show you now. So it's incredible. We really have love here. We have the cups here 3 times now. So then we also have the 2 of cups. That's the inner conflict. The inner conflict is there when it comes to the connection with you, these doubts. But he feels this incredible attraction. There is something there. Love is definitely involved. And this sense of belonging, this connection, these loving encounters, there is something here, something that has to do with you and this coming together. And maybe there's a bit of a barrier approaching each other, him coming towards you or you towards him. We'll take a closer look at what it is. We will get clarity. But as I said, we have this conflict, this inner conflict that he is experiencing regarding this connection with you. And then we also have the cups. The 7 of cups here again shows love, desires, decisions. This is about making a decision. He issues on the run. That means this balance. So there is something here, maybe a structure, which we already saw at the very beginning. It's about a structure, his inner self. He's also refusing something, but there's a kind of inhibition there as well. But in any case, he is simply and plainly overwhelmed. I can already tell you that. But there's more going on inside him than he shows you, things he might not tell you, I'd say that's where this inhibition lies. So let's take a look then. Good.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, for a start, that already looks pretty good. Very interesting, definitely. So I can honestly say there really is love involved here. Mm, here's the pressure. Mm, yes, that inhibition. So now we have a very, very clear picture here. We're also getting even more clarity. So, well, then let's take a look at what's going on with the coyote here. So, for the person of the heart, it's about his patterns from the past. This, maybe he's been in relationships before. What do I mean by been? Maybe he's been in relationships, but they always stayed on the surface. He's never gone this deep before. He was always able to keep things a bit open, and especially when it comes to family matters, connection, closeness, she's never really focused on that intensely or truly felt it. And that's a big issue. Yes, he's insecure. And when it comes to the connection between the two of you, when it comes to the relationship, he avoids it. I see withdrawal there. And also, this may be a bit defiant, maybe a little quick to take offense, this kind of leave me alone, something like that. There's a conflict there. And he tells himself this inhibition is also like, no, this can't be, this isn't possible. He can't. But he feels, we're talking about the collective here, right? Very, very important. I want to mention this again before I continue. We are talking about the collective. Your loved one from this collective reading feels pressured. His perspective. I mean, well, he also has some very exaggerated perspectives, That happens pretty quickly too. So the line is crossed pretty quickly with him. Yeah, it's overstepped because like I said, I get this knee-jerk reaction, this quick, this shut down right away, close off. And it's the same here. He feels cornered very, very quickly. He's overwhelmed by this question. And there's too much out of this reading. There's too much coming from your side when it comes to making a decision. And that's the pressure he wants to avoid. He doesn't want to talk about it. He does want to talk about it, yes, but not when it comes from you, because too much of your perspective, too much from you is coming through. That's just, we're only giving him his point of view. And in that case, he refuses, acts like a little stubborn child. No, and now even less so. He can't. He wants to come forward on his own because he feels very clearly we have it here again, the relationship with you, this connection. It's wow. Because there's a lot of love. Great love is at play here. There's an incredible attraction, your charisma. Because it's just too much. It's like he's so overdosed, It's too much. He can't handle it. Also, your warmth, your caring nature, the way you approach him, your loving manner, your warmth. What you give him is too much love. He can't handle this amount of love. So she feels overwhelmed. It's all too much. And that means if you want to, you can shift down a gear or two and say, okay, all right. Let him come to you. Very, very, very important. He wants to talk because he's thinking about things. He's just very insecure. He also doesn't really know how to argue his point or what to say sometimes because he's getting too much input from you, too many messages from you. And that's why he's avoiding a conversation. He wants to talk. He has the conversation, your connection, on his mind, and it's very intense. But right now, where he wants to do it himself, he wants to come to you on his own. Here, it means letting things calm down a bit. Let him come to you. That was because maybe this tension in your communication, maybe it was also the last conversation you had or the last few conversations. It was just too much. Maybe too many questions, too much discussion, right? A problem here, a problem there. And yes, this is the decision. He's simply running away from making this decision because you want him to make it. He definitely wants a relationship with you. I can tell you that with absolute certainty, he also feels this closeness, this attraction, as I said, and it's almost like uncharted territory for him. But it's too much because he's always just skimmed the surface. He's always been fooling himself. And he's still doing it in this area to telling himself, no, let's just stick to how things have always been. I see old behavioral patterns here, but I see him completely in transformation, changing his old ways for new ones. But as I said, he's still struggling a bit, going back and forth because it's all new to him. And that means taking a bit of distance here, you know, so that some balance can come in because he wants to. He definitely wants to. He just can't really talk about all of this here, you know? If you write to him now, he has in his thoughts, it is clearly visible. He has in his thoughts the communication with you this. Oh, you want a decision. You want a discussion, or there is a discussion, there is anger, there is stress, and he is avoiding that. He wants to avoid that. That's what I see here in this reading. You are warm, you are caring, you have this family-like quality. And, well, it's just too much for him. He wants all of that, but he needs to process it first. He's in a phase of processing and working through things right now. Because basically, I see him here as totally insecure. And due to this insecurity, we see impulsive reactions, childish behavior, and withdrawal. As I said, only reach out if you want to. All I can tell you now collectively from this reading is that you should pull back just a little bit. And if he gets in touch with you again, if you have contact again, just stay in the friend zone. Keep it casual and relaxed, because I sense this ongoing tension between you two, perhaps a bit of unresolved energy as well. As I said, he always has it in the back of his mind, or at the first meeting with you. Oh God, here comes pressure, decisions, discussions, accusations, things like that. And then he shuts down again. And it's always because too much comes at once. He writes you once, and you, just to exaggerate, maybe reply with 5 messages. Or you immediately ask him to meet up. And that's why he's completely withdrawn here. He doesn't want to talk about the relationship. He can't talk about it yet because it's something he has to process himself. He wants it to come from himself. So it's not that he's going to answer it when you ask him, but he's going to show you that himself. He wants to approach you. He wants to show you that in his own way. So I don't think that after this reading, he'll just stand in front of you and immediately say, you are the love of my life and I want a committed relationship. I want marriage. I want everything. That's not how I see him. He wants to take things slowly and go deeper and deeper. He definitely wants the stability. But he wants to come. He wants to take action. So he wants to approach you. And the more you give and the more you approach him, the more he feels pressured and whoosh, he goes in the other direction. That's how I see it here. So with that in mind, just a bit of calm here. And to answer the question of why he doesn't want to talk about the relationship, it's because he first needs to process what he's feeling, since it's really a lot. Because so much stability in a love, such an intense love, this connection, this togetherness, he's never felt that before. And it unsettles him. Because as I said, he always just skimmed the surface and never really went as deep as he has with you. Because with you, he feels happiness. He also wants to make you happy. It's just that you give so much of yourself he doesn't even know anymore. I mean, I don't see him as particularly imaginative or creative here. He doesn't even know how he can make you happy anymore, what good he can give you from himself. Yes, for you, you simply say, it's just the relationship, or this, show me love, show me that you love me. I absolutely understand you, but you give him so much that he no longer knows what else he can do for you. He wants to bring you joy, but in his own way. And here's the thing, your thoughts, the way I see you thinking here, please don't assume that he thinks the same way. He's simpler, more easygoing, to be honest. So even when you say yes, but why, you could do it this way or that way. You are solution-oriented. You know what you want, and you give with all your love. But when you say yes, but why, you can just talk about it normally. For you, that's normal, but for him, it's not that simple. As I said, he thinks differently than you do. Let go of the idea that he should think or act the way you do or wonder why he doesn't. He can't do it. He never has been able to. As I said, he doesn't know how, and there is a lot of love there. There really is this intense, deep love. I feel the attraction, the connection. He senses, wow, with you, it's absolutely solid. This is truly a solid foundation. He knows it. He has never experienced anything like this before, which is why he can't let go of you, why there is so much stability, why he can actually imagine everything with you. Most importantly, he can imagine a long-term future with you. And that's what he first needs to process, because as I said, he doesn't know this kind of thing because it is so stable. And even if he has already been in a long-term relationship, married or whatever, it doesn't matter. He has never felt this way before. And that's why, according to this reading, he can't talk to you about a relationship right now. He will come to you if you want that, of course. It's always entirely your decision. But it's very important here. Please take the pressure off, especially with messages. Let's talk about the relationship. When he gets in touch with you again, approach it in a way where you say, yeah, hey, all right. If he asks you something, you answer, but don't immediately start asking questions yourself, or especially suggesting to meet up, or calling him right away, or sending several more messages afterwards. Even if he sends you a message, just respond by saying, okay, and reply to it. Maybe not right away. Add a bit of a delay before you reply to him, and then that's enough. And if you've written a long messages, you can see that's my finger. I have to check if you've written such a long message in response. Please cut it down to 1, 2, or 3 sentences. Because all that input, too much input, is just too much. Can't process it. He can't take it in. He might read the first sentence or something in the middle, and then you keep going. He's completely overdosed, as I said. He can't process it. He needs small bits of information, short, concise little bits of info. So try to cut it down a bit, reduce the volume, the bulk, the amount. And then that's when the knot in communication starts to loosen. That's really, really important. When he senses, wait a minute, you're totally relaxed, that's when I also see his curiosity come back, the curiosity to get to know you anew. This, wow, this is so relaxed. Because that's when he also opens up, he becomes lighter. There's no more sand in the gears. Instead, everything is well oiled and lubricated. So in that sense, pure love is absolutely present here. But it's his fears, his worries. Oh my God, then it won't work out. She's giving me too much. Oh God, how am I supposed to chase after her here? I mean, give her something. He actually doesn't even see anymore that she can really bring you joy. And you're also a bit too fast for him. That's why you need to slow down here. So let's take a look at what else we can see here. Now we have the cups again. So as I said, wow, wow, wow. We have so many cups here now. So a very clear sign. There is really more love here, truly deep love with playfulness and a very strong attraction. And that is a very clear sign. He's not fooling you here, at least according to this reading. I really want to emphasize that because this is a collective reading. So now we have the King of Cups. He's actually very emotional. He might not show it to you, but he will find his calm. Yes, sometimes he uses a bit of diplomacy where you might think, hey, that's nonsense. He doesn't really need that at all. But that's just how he is. He's simply, in his head, he's a thinker, a rational person, and he always protects his inner self and tends to be closed off, even in communication. But if you ask a little less, so that the communication becomes lighter, he or she will also open up more towards you. And there's something a bit bothersome for him. That is himself. He himself is his biggest problem. But I have everything here lying in resolution. Above all, I have everything here in healing. In healing, he, with himself, no matter what experiences he has had, what kind of person he has been, right? No matter how or what he wants this change, he feels it too. And inside him, a lot is happening regarding this, the connection, the relationship with you, and he will talk to you about it. Because there is this inner turmoil, this restlessness. He might be showing you coldness right now because he is simply agitated inside. Here we have manipulation, whether it's from his environment or from his past. So manipulation is at play here, and he is breaking free from all of it. I find this card wonderful. We have the Six of Wands. So now with the Six of Wands, we have a positive development. I have messages here. That fits perfectly. We have communication here. Here we also have more good news. We have this union between the two of you. But first, it's all about communication, keeping it light and relaxed, so that we start talking without immediately asking about a relationship or anything serious. Just, go along with this a bit. Keep things a little superficial for now, you know. Let him take the lead in communication because he wants you. He also wants to talk about the relationship because he knows that what you two have is right. The relationship is truly blossoming. 6 of Wands, the relationship between you two really wants to flourish. And this difficult time will be overcome by keeping things light and taking the pressure off. And that's simply wonderful. So even if he's distancing himself right now and is totally in his ego mode, he really is coming back to his heart, to warmth and also towards you. So absolutely fantastic because, as I said, I like it here. Your relationship is truly blossoming again, and the difficult time is being or will be overcome definitely because he also wants to give you this recognition. You can expect some pleasant news. Dear ones, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of your day. Goodbye.